Coming up, a complete collapse in the second half leads the Magic to a game seven when we should be getting ready for the winner of the Toronto versus Cleveland matchup. We'll go over all of game six by half and all the other stuff as always. So this one's going to be a little more difficult to get through because it was a tough ending to that game, but we'll do what we can. This is the Orlando Magic Nation, your source for all things Orlando Magic on YouTube. For Magic fans, by a Magic fan. I'm Evan Valentine, and I want to thank you very much for clicking on this video and spending a little bit of time talking Magic with me. Got to do the normal YouTube things like share, drop a comment below on the absolute collapse that happened in game six and what you would change for game seven. And if you want to do so, hit that subscribe so you don't miss out on any content that I produce. If you're an audio podcast listener only, make sure to rate the show 5 stars and send it to someone, as it really gets the show growing by going to more people. All right, let's get started. So obviously, this is a game of two halves. The Magic were feeling good after the first half, leading 60-38. They held the Pistons to 38 points in the first half. They'd done everything that they wanted to. Everything was going well. They were hitting shots. They were being active. They were hunting mismatches. They were doing everything that we know they can do. And just like a kid who can't focus, they did not do the same thing in the second half. Unfortunately, they didn't hunt the matchups as ferociously as they should have, like ferociously. They needed to be just they should have no holds barred. I know Bane talked about it after the game that they were more hungry than us, or they were basing that's paraphrasing, that they were attacking more, that they were more hungry, they were more desperate. Like, well, why weren't you desperate? You're without Franz right now. You don't want to give this team any life, and that's exactly what they did with turnovers in the third. We know the third period is kind of like our bugaboo, and it just continued to happen. So what is the saying, tiger that shows their stripes? Like, this is what the Magic team has done all year. This is what it is. So why would we expect anything different? I guess it's one of those things that you see them play so well for a few games, or at least better than what they've played throughout the season and more focused than throughout the season, but they lost absolute focus when they needed to in this game, and there's really not much more to say about that. We'll go over the stats now, but realistically, it's a huge gut punch. This is a microcosm of what this season has been for the Magic. They've been ones to make everything difficult for themselves the entire year. So now we'll see if they're going to be able to dig themselves out of this hole where, yes, they're tied. I know it's 3-3, and it's probably different than the Toronto-Cleveland series, where Toronto hits a 3 at basically the buzzer to send it to a game seven. But the Magic have been in control of this series really since game one. They've played better than the Pistons, other than a couple third quarters and in most of this fourth quarter as well. So it's been a much more even series than what it has been, but it just felt like the Magic had a lot more control over this one. Now, the talent is different now. We talked about it without Franz, and he's likely not going to play game seven. So everybody should just get that in our heads. He's not going to play game seven. So we're going to have to do this without him, just like we've done it all year. Without Franz, now they probably have 3 of the best 5 starters in the game. And if Paolo's going to shoot the way he shot in this one, then it'll be 4 out of 5, right? So it's not really the greatest ending to this series, when it looked like the Magic were going to be able to shoot. Even they almost stole game 5 if they would hit their free throws. So we'll go over this one here. This one's going to be a shorter video because I got to get going. But either way, this is not this wouldn't be one that I would want to really harp on all that much. Like, I went through each possession in the third and fourth period just to kind of really solidify what happened, and it ultimately just ended up being not hunting matchups, too many turnovers, quick shots, quick threes, some threes that Desmond could hit and he just didn't, unfortunately, because those would have really gone a long way, at least stemming the tide. But it just felt like they were walking us down the whole entire time. Once they started to get the physicality right, because they were fouling in the first half and they still fouled in the second half. There was a couple, Wendell got blocked at the rim by Asar, but it was a complete foul. Paolo got fouled a couple times. It just is what it is, and that's my concern for game 7, and we'll talk about that at the end. It's the fouls. They're going to get a lot of the calls at home, and then it's going to be 8 versus 5, and that's not going to be a great place for us to be. And They went with Jamal Cain to start in game 6, which was a bit of a surprise. I thought they should go to Anthony Black, but in the end, it really didn't matter. Neither one really could stop Cade at this point, and really the Magic are going to have to change up on the switching, because there was a couple switches that the Magic that AB got wrong with Desmond and AB got wrong with Jalen that led to threes that were just daggers in the end. So one in the third quarter, one in the fourth quarter, and there has to be better communication. Everything has to be better, just that little bit better, because they showed they can lead by 22 points in this game. So that's the positive that they could take away, is that they showed they could do really well. And could this anomaly of of 0 for 23 for a bit there, where there was 12 minutes of game action that they didn't score a field goal. The Magic have had an incredible season for many ways. 52-point loss in Toronto, where they gave up a 31-0 run, and 0 for 23 at one point in a playoff game. They still scored more than the Houston Rockets did in game 6, in their game 6, but still, like, that's just craziness. So let's get to the game now. We're gonna go, the first half is where I want to start, because it shows again the positive things that we could do. Now, when they were putting on the pressure in the second half, I think they should have brought Javante Carter back in for an extra ball handler, but we can't make adjustments apparently. So that is just what it is. But if we see what happened in that period, or in that half, Jamal was okay. He was a +10. Paolo was a +20, 3 of 9 from shooting. He had 10 points in the first half. Not great, but definitely not too bad, because Cade really wasn't doing all that well in the first half either. Wendell Carter, 7 points, no rebounds at all in that first half, but he was doing an okay job against Jalen Duren, even though Duren was getting a few offensive rebounds. So that might have gotten him a little bit going. So we'll see how he plays in game 7. Desmond, 6 of 9, 15 points. He was our rock. He's been our rock all season, and he had done so. 3 of 4 from 3 for Desmond in that first half. Jalen, 1 of 4, 5 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, though. Only 1 turnover. So Jalen had been doing his job of being calm, doing what he needed to do to be a point guard. So I know everybody's upset and talking about trading him for Ja. Let's stop that. Everybody wants to complain about how Jalen's injured. Ja's injured even more. So let's simmer down. Jalen can get better. He's still pretty young. This is only his second time in the playoffs, so let's give it a little bit of time. We'll go in the second half, and I know and I get it, and I was frustrated too, but we need to be sensible to an extent. AB, 15 minutes in that first half, 5 points, 2 of 3 from the field. Goga, 3 of 4 from the field for 6 points, 4 rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds, and an assist. So Goga was playing really well in the first half as well. Javon Carter, 2 minutes, 1 of 1. He was a +1 on the plus minus, so it wasn't like he was a -10 or anything crazy. So I really don't understand why he didn't get any action in the second half, especially when we can see that they were starting to pick up the defense full court, and the Magic just needed more ball handlers. Why not have Javon Carter come in, a little more of a steadying presence? He's been in more games. It is what it is, I guess. Tristan, 10 minutes of action, 7 points, 3 of 5 from the field. So he was being aggressive. So all of that was really nice. We shot 39% from 3, 56% from the field, 21 rebounds, 16 assists. So 16 assists on 23 field goals. So the Magic were passing the ball around. They were doing everything that they needed to do to win this game. And if that would have continued, then I think that they would be right now getting ready for, they would have their feet up, hoping to see who they play in the Toronto versus Cleveland matchup. But then the second half happened, and second half, Jamal only had 7 minutes of action. So they really went more AB and Tristan centric. -17 for Jamal. He had 2 rebounds. He had a block, a nice block that it was just, again, these plays, the Magic all season long. Like, he had a really good block. The ball just kind of goes out of bounds. Jalen dives and saves it, but it goes right to a defender, or right to a Pistons guy, and he lays it right up, right? So it's just little things like that all throughout the season, that just these tiny little plays that just don't go our way, and it kind of is what it is. Paolo in 21 minutes, 1 of 11 from the field in the second half, 7 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals for a negative 28. Everybody's going to have a huge negative number. It just is what it is when you're up 22 at end and 24 at one point in the third quarter. It just kind of is what it is. Wendell, 16 minutes in the second half, 2 points, no rebounds. So no rebounds at all for Wendell in this game. Again, statistical anomalies are incredible. Like, how could you not have not even one rebound throughout the course of the entire game, right? Like, that's just insanity. We know he can do it. He had 17 rebounds earlier in the series. Like, so he can play. What happened? Right? Like, it's just crazy. So Desmond in 20 minutes, he ended up going 1 of 9 from the field, 0 of 5 from 3. Those threes in the fourth quarter, like, and this is what happens. I think he loses flow at times because he doesn't get the ball throughout the course of almost an entire period. He's the second best scorer right now, probably the first best scorer. He's been a rock all season long. How are we not running plays for him? How are we not getting the ball in his hands either way? He needs to be more forceful. Like, he talked about it throughout the season, that he was quiet at the beginning and then he was not shy in bringing his comments up. He should have been like, give me the ball. I'm going to run, get to the basket, get blocked. I don't care. A lot of the times when we get blocked, we're able to grab that ball and bring it back up. There's no reason for us not to be attacking the rim. And that's not what we did the second half at all. Paolo didn't. He had really good, really decisive jump shots. When Paolo's more decisive, his jump shot is not bad. It's just when he's kind of surveys and he's off the dribble, and then go, spin, jump. This time, Paolo was decisive. It was one dribble up and he shot it and he missed it. One dribble up, shot, missed it. He wasn't putting his head to the down as well as Desmond wasn't either. Really, nobody was really just going for it and just going in and getting fouled or just. We're at home. We're supposed to get the whistle. Like, let's be honest. Let's not be childish. The home team normally gets the whistle more than the road team. Just keep freaking attacking, diving your body into there. They had Paul Reed in there, and there was Beef Stew wasn't there. Duran wasn't there. Paul Reed was in there. So again, they made an adjustment by bringing in Paul Reed, their freaking third string center. What did we do? Not a darn thing. We didn't even bring in Javon Carter back into the game when we knew that they were starting to pick up some of aggression. And what, are they going to pick on one of our guys? Who are they going to pick on? They pick on any one of our guys anyway. So if we can do a better job on offense when we're leading that much, then if we can extend that lead, then we win the game. Simple as that. So this thought that now we can't bring in Javon Carter for whatever reason just baffles me. Anyway, whatever. Sorry, I don't sound as positive as I normally try to be. This one was rather frustrating. But Desmond had a couple really good looks, to be honest, in the end. He rushed them. You can see he was rushing them. 2 of them were a little too deep, but he can make them. But otherwise, like, he had pretty good shots in that fourth quarter and just wasn't able to make any of them. Jalen is the one getting all the abuse today. 20 minutes of action, 0 of 6 from the field, and 0 of 3 from 3 in the second half. 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, but 4 turnovers for negative 28. Desmond had the worst plus minus at negative 39, if we're going to throw stones, unfortunately. So yeah, so that was Jalen. Jalen didn't have the type of quarter or half that he did like in the Houston game back at home, where he went insane and was just turning the ball over left and right. There were just little things here and there. He got pickpocketed in the backcourt and a couple of passes that were not there, but some of them, he made a couple good passes that Wendell got blocked at the rim or fouled at the rim, and that one would have been a good assist. So just things didn't work out, and Jalen was definitely rushing. So his puppy energy was in full effect in this one. AB 17 minutes, he hit a 3. Him and Tristan hit a 3. So that looked like it was going to calm us down, because we ended up bringing the lead back up to 17 after it was down to 10, but that didn't happen. So yeah, negative 26 for AB. Goga only got 4 minutes in the second half, negative 11. But I don't know, if you're at Wendell at negative 24, why not try something different? Goga was getting offensive rebounds. Goga was attacking again. It was Paul Reed. Paul Reed was the center for a period of time, and I know that would put Goga out on the perimeter more. I get it, but we gotta try something, man. We can't keep slamming our heads against the wall and not doing anything different. And then Tristan with the 12 minutes in the second half, -7. So they was really going with AB throughout the course of the second half, and it just didn't work out for anyone in particular. They shot 11% from the field in the second half, 11% from three, 17 rebounds, only 4 assists, and 7 turnovers. So really, the Magic, it wasn't like the Magic had a crazy amount of turnovers. It was the shots. They just couldn't shoot at all in this one. And that's where it was, yeah. Because again, our defense was good. 93 points. Giving up only 93 points is not bad. We only had 10 turnovers, 10 turnovers in this game. That's something that they had 10 turnovers as well. So it was kind of even, but 10 turnovers and we only score 79 points. That's, again, the statistics on that is there's no way that that could happen again. So kind of is what it is. Yeah, it just is what it is. There's not much more we can say about it. It's rather frustrating, but we want to be able to move forward from this game. They kept talking about wiping it away and trashing it. Great, that sounds great, but they're humans, and that's where the nerds get all in here and say, "Oh, there's no such thing as momentum, and there's no this, no that." They're humans. They just know they had this game in hand. It's going to be a big ask for them to be able to win game 7 on the road now after hearing all that. The Pistons can feel more like they got the Magic's number when in reality the Magic have played the majority. Maybe it's more 50-50 now, but for much of this series, the Magic have been the better of the two teams. We don't have Franz. It just is what it is. Bad luck as always. Like that's just, it stinks because that's what the franchise sometimes is. Just there's not much more that can happen other than bad luck. They've been able to stay healthy. If they would have lost to Sar Thompson, or if they would have lost Jalen Duren, then maybe Jalen Duren would have been fine. But Asar Thompson has been crucial. But if they would lose Asar Thompson, then who knows? Maybe the Magic would be able to win in this one. So let's see what they do in game 7. It's going to be hard for them to flip the switch, but they've made it hard on themselves all year. So we'll see what they do on this one. So do the normal YouTube things, like, share, drop a comment below on how you think game 7 is going to be. I think they're going to be leading a lot of the game. And then for some reason, something's going to happen and the Pistons will either take the lead or win the game at the end, and the Magic, we'll see. I want to think that the Magic have been through a lot of really tough games throughout the season, and they've made things hard on themselves, and they've always come back. So I wish that that's what happens, and they win a close game 7. But just like the Spurs in 2014 or 2013, when they lost the heartbreaking game 6, they were leading much of game 7, and then in the end they lost it late in the game in the finals versus the Heat. So hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully the Magic are able to bring through it. We know they can. They know they can. Hopefully they really need to have amnesia about that second half and just focus on the first half. The game ended in the first half and you guys were leading by 22. Focus on all the things that happened there, and hopefully we can lead and win this one and then take on whoever between Cleveland or Toronto. So again, do all the normal YouTube things, like, share, drop a comment below, and if you want to do so, hit that subscribe so you don't miss out on any content that I produce. I hope you're having a great day.